Hey, what's going on there, guys? Cloud of Truth here, and I just spawned in to an absolute steamroll round here of Rush Defense on Strike at Karkin. This was my first match of the day, and I was feeling some Karkin Rush, so I said, hey, this server looks good, just stick me in there, and this is what I got. Right now, we are being flat out steamrolled into a pancake, and what I'm going to try to do is prevent us from getting completely flattened and then chopped up and eaten bite by bite. So, I'm going to pull out the M4A1 here, got the Cobra sight, no grip, and a flash suppressor. Not the heavy barrel and grip which I usually run because I figured the flash suppressor might suit a little bit better, being the fact that Karkin has got generally medium range engagements, and the flash suppressor seems to hold its own at medium range over heavy barrels, not dominating them, but sometimes can give you a slight edge if you're not feeling the recoil control, which after this, like I said, this was my first match, so I'm still trying to, I don't know, crack my knuckles and get used to playing again, so that's why I picked the flash suppressor, and it did pretty well. Now, this video is not going to be so much about the gameplay, although I may touch on it every now and then, talk about my thought process, any kind of tip, or just funny moment that happened. It's mainly going to be about the game mode of Rush overall, and looking from Battlefield 3 moving on to Battlefield 4. Now, Rush in Battlefield 3 is a game mode that I enjoy, but not to the level that I do of Conquest. Conquest for me is this kind of like the overall game mode in terms of what you can do. It seems like every time I play, I have a new and different experience, versus Rush, it's kind of a little bit more limited in what your roles are, where you can go, what you can play, things like that, but it's still a really, really fun game mode, but for me, not quite as enjoyable as it is in Conquest. And this guy is about to get turned on. Sit down, sport player, the Rex dominates all. Here in Battlefield 3, though, there is a wide variety of Rush maps sticking to the vanilla ones in terms of their layout, design, and overall experiences that come with each one. You've got the bigger open maps, Caspian Borders, One Carg Island, you could throw Firestorm, maybe even North Shore Canals, and some of the bases in there, and then you have the more linear ones, Op Metro, Grand Bazaar, Seine Crossing, and Damavon Peak, kind of in there with the more linear ones, but you have kind of this variety to choose from, and even though Battlefield 3 and really Battlefield is known for the destruction that it has, it oftentimes doesn't really help the Rush maps, especially the more linear ones. You go back to Battlefield Bad Company 2, at least if I recall correctly, I haven't played the game a ton and have got 0 of the DLCs, which is why I'm also talking about the vanilla only here in BF3. It seems to me that I don't ever feel this linear map design where I'm having to just put my head down and just charge an objective because I have nowhere else to go. It's not so much this head glitching, who can pick off who at what range. It was more of a flanking, more of a tactics thing when it came to BC2 than here in BF3. Now, I'm not saying that you can't do it in Battlefield 3. There are some maps like some of the bigger ones I previously mentioned in which you can still implement those strategies in order to help your team win. But the maps like Grand Bazaar on the first base, how do you implement tactics on that? It's really difficult. Now, of course, there's smoke and, a few other things like that, using rubble and whatnot, but in terms of just flanking and really it's a lot harder to do on those maps. But one of the things which, looking forward into Battlefield 4, is what I'm really curious to see is their whole new level of destruction. I guess, quote-unquote, Levolution, as the DICE devs have said it, or quoted, or whatever it may be that they're calling this new thing. But with this whole new destruction, is it going to be possible to have maps like Seine Crossing, Metro Bazaar, that the ones people seem to really, really enjoy a lot, but be able to actually change the map around to be able to have, I don't know, for me, an enjoyable Rush experience? So let's go ahead and use Operation Metro for an example. Use the third base on that map, which is the one with the infamous staircases, which there's only technically one, and there's 2 escalators, but we'll just, the staircases, you have front, back, and side stairs. That's the base in which I'm talking about for those of you that aren't familiar with exactly what number it would be. For the attackers, those are the only 3 routes to choose from, front, back, and side. It's extremely linear. You don't have a lot of options, but let's say with Battlefield 4's new Levolution, which, by the way, I'd like to also add, Metro's gonna make a return probably. What game mode it'll be? Probably all of them, I would have to say. But what if you took Battlefield 4's new evolution, as I get a Levolution, excuse me, I get a nice reload glitch there, I think that tank saved me from the recon. What if you take Battlefield 4's Levolution on the back staircase and literally collapse these side parts and really almost drop it down to where the floor is gone, except you have this giant ramp of rubble that you can run up, because a ramp is a lot harder to defend than just a simple staircase. Staircases, there's that head glitch area because you have the top part in which the escalators come up, and it's a lot easier for the defenders. You have a huge ramp, it's going to be a lot harder because there's not just these 4 spots where the attackers have to run up. Things like that is what I'm talking about when it comes to Battlefield 4 and the linear rush maps that are probably going to be making a return. No guarantee on that. But since people seem to enjoy them so much, they're probably going to make a return in Battlefield 4. But would you guys feel that the destruction would help those type of maps? And would you like to see them return in Battlefield 4? Or do you enjoy the more bigger open ones like the Caspian Border, Cargo Island, the old Bad Company 2 maps, which I also might add you can destroy MCOMs with the destruction, which is something that kind of would like to see return, but kind of not. Maybe on just one map or two, which would be kind of cool. Things like that is something I'd love to see. Just the destruction used to change the map to the attackers or even defenders' advantage, things like that. That way the smart players, the guys that understand the map and the destruction, are able to use it to their advantage. Guys that know the game and guys that really try to understand it are the ones that are giving advantage because of their just knowledge and skill level. But that's going to do it for me. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video today. Be sure to leave your comments and thoughts about it below. Very curious to hear what you all have to say. I think Levolution will be a factor in Battlefield 4, and really, I don't even think it's going to be a question. Of course it will. Come on, people. This isn't Call of Duty where all you can do is knock out a window. Oh, wait, what's that? You can knock down gas stations in COD Ghosts? Oh, go ahead. I think I'll take knocking down skyscrapers. Thank you very much. Take care, guys. Enjoy your day.